welcome to the Gaming Zone. I'm your host, Mr. VIB113, here today with a video game review on a game that just recently came out for the PSP called Heroes Phantasia. The game was created by Namco Bandai and actually released a couple days ago. The game is a crossover game that consists of different anime characters, all from various popular animes, something that many people have always dreamed of and now is real. Though, not that many people know about the game, mainly because of the lack of info on this game. Hell, I didn't even know anything about the game or its existence until one day when I was going on eBay looking for Sergeant Frog stuff, I came across an image of the game's box art. So it looked interesting to me, so I decided to go and see what the game was about. Then I watched the promotional trailer that was for the game, and I got really excited after I saw all these anime characters. Lena from Slayers, Saya from Blood Plus, Hai from Darker Than Black, and... oh my god. Kiroro from Kiroro Gunsu? No fucking way. I would have never imagined seeing a crossover with Blood Plus and Kiroro Gunsu. That is just fucking amazing. The other animes, though, I've never heard of until I started playing this game. The other animes are Rod, My Hime, Escryed, Orphan, Looney the Rune Soldier, and the second series of Darker Than Black. Now, after seeing this trailer and waiting for a while for the game to come out, the only thing that got me is how expensive the game was on eBay and PlayAsia. Holy shit. Luckily for me, I have a modded PSP, so I was able to just download the game and play it right away. Yay for piracy! You're my hero. Now, I do want to talk about the game, but I can't really consider this a full review of the game just yet. Because of the lack of info on this game online, and because the game is only in Japanese and I can't read or speak Japanese, I don't really know much of the story. What I can say, though, from what someone posted on a forum about the game, is that the plot of the game is about a great evil that seeks to destroy the Earth, and all these anime characters from all these different universes gather together to fight this great cause, alongside the main character, who you decide on because you can pick the name and the gender of the character. Now, the gameplay of the game is what made this game look so damn awesome in the trailer, and very confusing at the same time. I can't say I've seen anything like this in any other turn-based fighting system for any other RPG, but I will try to explain it as best as I possibly can. You see, as I just mentioned, the game has a turn-based fighting system, which has always been my favorite style in any RPG. In battle, you get up to 12 characters in battle, which sounds odd, right? How does that work? Well, you see, you get 12 characters to use in total, but you don't use all 12 in-game. You only get 4 characters in battle at once, but you use the D-pad in battle to switch off from one set of characters to another set of characters. Like, if I had 4 of my offensive characters at the start, I would push up or left or whatever direction for each row of characters to switch to the next row of characters. Each characters you set as one team, and whatever row all adds up to your team set's strength and defense. Like, say if I had one set of characters as Lena, Gallery, Zell, and Armelia, then all their strength and defense of all these characters will add up in one row. You get 4 rows total for each team set you pick, allowing you to really pick your strategy wisely. And I like that about RPGs. And the way how you do attack in the game is represented by the meter at the top. At the start, the maximum you'll be able to charge up your character's attack is to about 250, but don't always charge it up that high. Each time you charge up an attack, it drains the meter, and when the meter is under 100, then it will switch to the defense turn. When it does turn to the defense turn, you'll have the option to drain some of whatever team set's PP or power points in order to take less damage. And this is one thing I do not like about the game much for one reason. You see, when you're at a very low level in this game, or really any RPG, it's common for your character to be extremely weak and little to no defense. But in this game, for some reason, even if your character's at like level 40, your character always seems to die in one hit whenever you're fighting like a boss character per se, or in just 2 hits. My point is your character takes a lot of damage, even when you upgrade your character's defense a lot. Even if your team set's defense is a lot, you'll still seem to take a lot of damage. Level 50 and up is when your character seems to start boosting up its strength. Then again, it really all depends on the way how you upgrade each character. But it is challenging, I'll admit, but I don't feel like it should be this hard. It is just a minor gripe I have with the game, but that's not going to stop me from playing it at all. And there are people out there that I do know that do like the extra challenge, so maybe this game might be challenging enough for you to just make you want to play it. However, if your team does go down for say, they won't stay out for long. You see, if one of your teams gets knocked down, if their health recharges enough, you can bring them back into battle. If you let their health recharge all the way, Then they will go into what this game calls heroic mode, which is where one of your teams will be invincible with unlimited power points for one turn. Now the power points in the game don't only allow you to defend, but also give you the ability to use your character's heroic attack, also known as a finisher to most people. You see, by using up a certain number of power points, your character will do what the heroic attack, which looks really cool, I might add, and does a lot of damage, but don't do it too much because, trust me, you really want that PP if you don't want to die in one hit each time. Now that's pretty much it for explaining the gameplay. Confusing, ain't it? It might look really confusing and complicated, but trust me, when you start playing it, it's really easy to figure out, and extremely fun once you figure out how to play it. Now, outside of the fighting, the game works pretty much like how any other RPG works. You run around different areas doing puzzles, fighting random enemies that appear out of nowhere, and then getting from point A to point B to point C, whatever. Having to talk to a person, and then having to talk to another person, and then having to fight a boss afterwards. This would be more fun if I could actually read anything. The bosses that you run into the game are also really cool. They picked some really nice choices, like from Slayers they picked Zuma the Grace Assassin and the Demon Beast Xanathar, and from Hero Gunsu we have the Gairuru Platoon. Which I really like very much. I find these to be great choices for bosses in the game. Alongside that, you can also find random chests in each area you go to that will either contain an item or some gold, which will come useful later on in the game. Speaking of areas in the game, after you complete one area, you will be able to go to the next area. Each area is based off different anime's universe, or just made up in general for the game. There are a lot of areas in the game with two worlds to separate them each. The one problem I do have with the game is the same problem I have with some other RPGs that do this. When you get to an area and you look in the map, the game will literally just tell you where to go, instead of having to figure out where you're supposed to go like you would in most RPGs. It's not that big of a deal, considering I can't really understand what the people are saying anyway, but it definitely can make the game shorter. But I guess that's not really a problem, considering how easy it is to die and how long it's going to take you to level up, so... Again, minor gripe, but it's worth mentioning. One thing I didn't mention earlier in the video is how the leveling system works. I can't say I've played any other RPG or any game in that matter that does this, but I have heard of some that do from friends. Each time you level up, every character levels up, meaning each character shares the same level in the game. For each level you get one Brave Point. What's a Brave Point? Well, it represents what you can add on to your characters. You can add it to one of the 4 bars in the 2 categories, the first 4 being Strength, Defense, Charm, and Connectivity, the bottom 4 being Attack Power, Accuracy, Number of Hits, and Critical Hit Rate. Strength and Defense should be obvious in what they do, but what Charm does is, depending on how low your character's health is each time when switching from defense turn to offense turn, each character will gain a certain number of health back depending on how high their Charm is. And Connectivity boosts up your attack meter and how many times you can attack. Attack power is just about the same as strength. Accuracy just depends on how many times you hit or miss. Number of hits allows your character to charge up more than 250 or give him or her more attack, and critical hit rate determines your chance of a critical hit. You can also get in the game what is called a blessing, which depending on which blessing you use can do different things, like give your character a boost in EXP or give your character more times to attack. All in all, this game is a really good game and highly recommended for any anime fan. It's just awesome that a game like this could even exist, let alone a good one at that. Sure, there have been crossovers like Namco Cross Capcom and Jump Superstars, but nothing like this. However, it is sad that the game will never be released in the US. Licensing issues aside, there's also the belief that Namco believes that the PSP is a dead format in the US and won't sell. But personally, I think if they did release this game, I think that this game would sell decently. No matter what the game is, each game always seems to find a fan base, and I'm sure there would be some people out there who would buy this. Who wouldn't want something like this? But alas, we will never know. I'm hoping that one day maybe someone will end up making an English patch for it for people like me to be able to play the game properly, but who knows. Maybe it might happen, maybe it won't. All we can do for now is dream. With the final verdict, I give Heroes Phantasia a 4.5 out of 5. This has been Mr. VIB113 of the Gaming Zone, and I'll see y'all next time, gang. Take care.